California's government has officially been overruled. After months of debate and environmental pushback, the U.S. military approved SpaceX to launch up to 100 rockets a year from Vandenberg Space Force Base, a decision the state failed to secure on its own. This marks a major shift in authority and signals the military's growing trust in SpaceX's reliability and national value. Let's dive right in. For months, SpaceX faced resistance from the California Coastal Commission, CCC, a state agency that blocked the company's request to increase launches, citing noise, wildlife impact, and public access concerns. But here's the turning point. Vandenberg Space Force Base isn't under state control. It's federal territory. That single fact changed everything. While California held hearings and wrote reports, the U.S. Air Force quietly moved forward, finalizing its record of decision and giving SpaceX what the state refused: full operational clearance. The message was unmistakable. When it comes to national security, federal authority outranks local politics. California's delay became SpaceX's opportunity. The Pentagon's logic was simple and strategic. With China accelerating its military space capabilities, America needs faster, more flexible access to orbit. Only SpaceX, with its reusable Falcon rockets, can provide both speed and cost efficiency. Under the new approval, SpaceX can conduct 95 Falcon 9 and 5 Falcon Heavy launches annually, a scale no private company has ever achieved from a single site. That instantly transforms Vandenberg from a quiet coastal base into one of the most active launch hubs on Earth. And for the U.S. military, that means one thing: rapid response readiness. If a satellite fails, another can be launched within days, not years. In modern warfare, that's not convenience, it's national security. At the center of this transformation lies Launch Complex 6, or SLC-6, once a symbol of wasted potential. It was built for the Manned Orbiting Laboratory, then redesigned for the Space Shuttle, and later used by ULA's Delta IV Heavy. Each era ended the same way: high cost, little success. Now SpaceX is rewriting that story. The company plans to strip outdated structures, build a modern integration hangar, new staging areas, and even dual landing pads for booster recovery, turning a Cold War relic into a state-of-the-art reusable launch center. Construction begins in 2025 or early 2026, finishing by 2027, perfectly aligning with Space Force heavy lift missions planned for 2030. It's not coincidence, it's coordination. The military isn't waiting for another government contractor, it's syncing its long-term strategy directly with SpaceX's timeline. Here's the irony. California once led the aerospace revolution, but in this case, its environmental bureaucracy became its own obstacle. The CCC's unanimous rejection, meant to protect wildlife and reduce noise, was seen by Washington as bureaucratic overreach. Because Vandenberg's launches support national defense and intelligence satellites, the Air Force's jurisdiction overrides state restrictions. And when the federal government invoked that authority, California's influence ended immediately. The state lost not because of bad intentions, but because it misunderstood the stakes. As one analyst noted, you can't regulate your way into the future. You either build it or watch someone else do it. Behind the drama lies hard data. Falcon Heavy can lift 63,800 kilograms to low Earth orbit, while ULA's new Vulcan Centaur can carry less than half of that. Even when reusing its side boosters, SpaceX still maintains a payload advantage, at a fraction of the cost. ULA's rocket is dependable, but fully expendable, meaning no reusability, higher costs, and slower turnaround. For a military now prioritizing launch frequency and adaptability, SpaceX's model simply fits better. That's why, for the first time, the Air Force is not just contracting with SpaceX, it's aligning its entire launch infrastructure around it. This approval came amid a silent but real race with China's growing launch capability. In 2024, China conducted over 60 orbital missions, many of them with dual-use military payloads. To maintain dominance, the U.S. needs both volume and flexibility, and SpaceX provides both. By expanding to 100 launches from California, the U.S. effectively controls both coasts. Florida covers geostationary missions, while Vandenberg handles polar orbits, allowing coverage of every region on Earth. It's not just a corporate victory, it's a national signal. America's launch power is no longer tied to bureaucracy, it's tied to performance. Critics, of course, haven't disappeared. Some residents near Lompoc complained about midnight launches shaking their homes. One wrote, "It felt like an earthquake." But locals who've lived there for decades see it differently. "We've been watching rockets here since the 80s. This isn't destruction, it's progress, and they're not wrong." Vandenberg's economic revival, fueled by SpaceX contracts, is bringing jobs, infrastructure, and renewed pride to the region. For a community once dependent on defense programs, this is a comeback story. Environmental reviews will continue, but the trajectory is clear. Federal priorities outweigh local politics when national defense is at stake. Behind the official narrative lies an even deeper link: Starlink. The same rockets launching from Vandenberg also deploy satellites that support secure military communications, including encrypted links used in real-world conflict zones. By expanding Starlink's reach, SpaceX indirectly strengthens America's global surveillance and communication network. Every new launch is not just commercial, it's strategic reinforcement. This is why some defense analysts now describe SpaceX as a private arm of U.S. military logistics. It's not hyperbole, it's reality. Skeptics argue the investment in SLC-6 might be excessive, especially since most Falcon Heavy launches still occur in Florida. But SpaceX's long-term play is clear. The company isn't just building for today's missions, it's building infrastructure for future conflicts, faster launches, and even Mars supply missions. Vandenberg's polar launch path is unique, ideal for Earth-observing and reconnaissance satellites that pass over every point on Earth. That's exactly the kind of capability the U.S. military wants to protect. And if the government shares part of the cost, SpaceX's risk remains low while its influence grows exponentially. As one industry insider put it, if the Pentagon funds the base, SpaceX gains control. Everyone wins, except California's regulators. In just 5 years, Vandenberg went from 1 launch a year to over 50, with expectations to double again. This is more than an expansion. It's a redefinition of how America approaches space access. Where traditional aerospace programs took decades, SpaceX now iterates in months. Where California once dictated policy, now Washington and SpaceX set the pace. It's not defiance, it's evolution, and it highlights an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes innovation moves faster than regulation can follow. So what happens next? When SLC-6 becomes fully operational, SpaceX will control both coasts, the most powerful rockets, and the largest private satellite network on Earth, all under one umbrella. California's attempt to restrict launches has ironically cemented SpaceX's federal alliance. The Air Force's trust in SpaceX signals that Musk's company has become a national asset, one that's too valuable to be slowed by politics. This moment isn't just a victory for Elon Musk. It's a pivot point in the relationship between private innovation and government authority. For better or worse, the sky above California no longer belongs to the state. It belongs to the future. Now the real question is, was this a brilliant national strategy or a dangerous precedent? Should private companies wield this much control over military infrastructure? Or is this exactly what America needs to stay ahead of global rivals? Share your thoughts below. Your insight might shape how we discuss this next era of space power. And this is exactly why this moment matters. The Pentagon's approval didn't just give SpaceX permission to launch, it marked a shift in how America leads the new space age. What this means is clear: faster launches, stronger national security, and a future built on innovation, not politics. The transformation at Vandenberg is just the beginning. By 2027, we could see Starship lifting off from the West Coast, pushing the boundaries of human exploration even further. What do you think? Will this decision strengthen America's position in the global space race? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your view. If you found this analysis valuable, like this video, subscribe to Space Hub, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next big story shaping our future in space. This is Space Hub, where insight meets innovation. Stay informed, stay inspired.